Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc., the channel all about bringing you as much nerdy content as possible. Today for you, we're back in Dragon Village M, and we got a brand new dragon for you guys. This is Yurian, and this is like some next level. I mean, we haven't had a dragon this good for PvP, probably, I would say, game-changing, probably since Trophius. Yeah, it's that awesome. Let's get into this. As always, if you're new to the channel, please like the video and subscribe. If you like Dragon Village M content, or Dragon Village M in general, then this is the channel for you. I put out Dragon Village M videos every single day for you guys. And just by liking the video and subscribing to my channel, then that just keeps making me want to make more and more videos. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. It is literally because of you guys that I'm able to drag myself to my computer every week and make a video for you guys. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Also, if you really like what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon also. There's a link in the description below for that. And you can get access to my Discord server, come chat it up with us, that sort of thing, by supporting me through there. But enough about me begging for money and support. Let's get into this. Let's look at this guy. Alright, so right now the rate up is the water type. So that's the one I'm going to kind of stay on the most, but we'll bounce around and look at all of them. So these guys are support types, Nat 5s, and so that's the baby form, that's the middle, and adult. Honestly, it straight up looks like an evolution. All you Pokemon fans out there, like straight up, does this not look like it could be an evolution for real? Yeah, crazy. Alright. So let's go look at these skills. I just want to start out on the leadership skill. This right here is awesome. It's been so long since we've just had such a good leadership skill that I don't feel bad about. A big problem I run into right now in PvP is finding a good dragon for a leadership ability. Like me personally, I want a good crit rate dragon. Rate up would be great because there's not really any good options out there that I can use. So, but this is awesome. Just a flat attack buff, that is great. Especially for you people running 2 DPS out there, or you guys that are running healers that scale off of attack. This is a great dragon to have as your leadership ability, because attack boost, DPS buff is probably what you want. If you can kill your opponent faster than they can kill you, or at least take out their DPS before they can take out your DPS, or take out their healer before they take out yours, whatever. Usually that's kind of the general strategy, and this guy's great for that. As a support type, already looking great. All three are going to have the same ability there. Alright, let's jump over to the drag skill here, though. Attacks the enemy with a light shard that dispels darkness. 80% chance to reduce target's crit evasion for 15 seconds. You see a lot of critical evasion right now in PvP. So I think this is a great opportunity for this dragon. Not necessarily like the end-all, be-all, but definitely a solid ability here. And you jump over to the dark. Dark is even better with 80% chance to reduce defense. Just flat defense. No weird, crazy, off-the-wall thing there. Just blanket defense reduction. So does Earth. So overall, right now, Earth and Dark are winning. I'd rather reduce the defense than reduce crit evasion. Crit evasion is kind of iffy. If your dragons scale off of crit rate or crit damage, or if it scales off of crit rate, you probably don't have anything to worry about. But if it scales off of crit damage, then this guy might be pretty good. So if you're running a crit damage based DPS, maybe having this guy on your team isn't a bad deal. Let's jump over to the end here. This is the big buff for the drag skill. Increases attack for 3 allies. That's so weird. 3 ally or 3 allies with the highest attack for 15 seconds. So not only is it just, the guys in the front or the guys in the back or whatever, it's the guys who already have the highest attack, which is going to be your defense or your DPS. And so that's who you want to have this buff, right? The attack buff. You're going to want it to go on your the guys with the highest attack. So that is great. The top two have that ability, but the dark one is increased crit rate with highest attack for 15 seconds. So that's cool. I don't know. I think I might want just a blanket attack, because I don't want this. This is only ever going to trigger whenever I use my drag skill, right? Which means the rest of the time I don't have this crit rate buff, and that's kind of not my ideal situation. I want my crit rate to be a static amount of, yeah, you're always going to be able to land your crits, because you're always going to have this like static crit rate buff going on, as opposed to only for 15 seconds after I use my drag skill. So I think having just an occasional, just straight another attack buff, right, would be the better option here. It's just to have that every so often, have that attack buff. All right, so let's jump back over here. We're going to the passive now, and this is what's pretty crazy. Is this right here? Is every set duration decrease cooldowns of allies' drag skill whose mana cost is 2 by 15% for 20 seconds, and increase cooldown by an additional 10%. So you're up to 25% decrease allies' cooldown timers. So that is huge, and it's all going to be on mana cost of 2. Mana cost 2 dragons are already the PvP choice right now. Is an entire team of nothing but 2 mana cost drag skills. And this right here, he's going to blanket the whole team. And this might look familiar to you guys, and I just want to show you that all 3 are going to be the same here. It's all going to be this 25% at max skill level here. Who this reminds me of. So we're going to jump out of this right quick, and we're going to come down and find... It's an older dragon. There we are. Bagma here. Alright, Fire Bagma is, until I would say now, the dragon of choice for support types. Because of this right here. Fall asleep for 12 seconds, not a big deal. In addition, decrease cooldown of other allies' drag skill whose mana cost is 2 by 30% for 12 seconds. So you get an extra 5%. However, you only ever get to trigger this skill when you use the drag skill, right? I believe, yeah, Fury of the Forest, is that this one? No, that's this one. Yeah, so not a big deal. I was looking, if they use their drag skill, it resets the cooldown of this skill right here, which isn't, it's good, but it's not. It doesn't have to relate with this skill at all. So you're only ever going to get this cooldown reduction when you use the drag skill, all right, which has a cooldown of 20 seconds. So we're going to jump back over there to the new dragon, to Yurian here, and this one is 20 seconds as well, but for 20 seconds. So this will constantly be happening for you. So you're constantly going to have this skill or this timer reduction for your entire team. However, because of this, you're going to be burning mana like crazy. You're going to be using every one of your teams, the dragons on your team. They're going to be using their skills non-stop, so much 25% faster actually than normal. So you're going to need some crazy mana like regen, which is cool about this next ability is every set direction, remove 1 status element from an ally in the rear, which is cool. I mean, that's going to probably be your DPS, so you're going to be removing stuff like heal block, which was huge because you need to get your heals to actually work, crit rate down, attack down, defense down, all kinds of stuff like that. You're going to be getting rid of those elements, which is pretty great, every 16 seconds. So not super fast for 1, but it is a target count of 3, which is pretty cool. I figured it'd only be 2, so being able to do that on 3 dragons is pretty awesome. Also grants 2 mana every 16 seconds. 2 mana every 16 seconds. So we're talking about burning through mana so much faster now. This guy is granting you 2 mana. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So you want to go back and look at Bagma again. I'm not going to go to it, but I'm just going to let you know that it has a skill also that's a passive that gives you a chance to regain up to 3 mana. That's not guaranteed though. I mean, you're going to average a solid 1 probably every time, maybe 2, and almost never 3. This guy is a guaranteed every single 16 seconds you will get 2 mana because of him. 2 mana, not 1 mana like most dragons. Most supports in this game that I've seen skills like this, it's always a single mana. This guy is 2 mana. 2 mana. This guy is unbelievable. So you want to jump to the other ones. Dark type is one status element with a low HP. And this one's going to be in the rear as well. The low HP, kind of a double-edged sword there. It could go to your support type, or it could go to your tank. You're removing status elements off of them. I don't really care about that. I need all those status elements off of my DPS. I don't think there's any kind of deep debuff in the game that I don't mind it being on my attackers. Tanks and supports, they can get debuffs. They can do less damage. I don't care. They can do get their crit rate lowered. They don't have any crit rate anyway. I don't have crit rate runes on my tanks or my supports in general. So stuff like that, not going to matter. The only time it would ever matter would be like a defense down or a heal reduction. And that's it. So lowest HP, not all that great. Guaranteed to be the ones in the back, which are probably going to be my DPS, especially if I'm running this guy. If I'm running this guy, I know to put my guys in the back. So great support. I see this dragon being on probably every top 10 PvP team within the next 2 weeks. Fire Bagma is probably the dragon that you've seen the most. If you've ever, at the end of the week, like Saturday, Sunday, just take a gander. I'm going to make a video about it soon. But go to the end of the week and then look at all the top 10 PvP teams and see what dragons they're running. I think last time I checked, it was like 7 or 8 out of the top 10 all had Fire Bagma on their team. This guy is like Fire Bagma, except guaranteed. Because all the skills that you like about Fire Bagma, it has on here. One, the mana increase is guaranteed, right? Every 16 seconds, as opposed to a chance, as well as the reduction cost is guaranteed as a passive, and you don't even have to use your drag skill anymore. So you can save that mana for other things. You can use it for your heals. You can run a double DPS team and not feel so bad about it. Because I noticed that it's kind of 50-50. You'll either see a 1 DPS and 2 support and a healer and a tank, or the other one, my preferred method is to run the 2 DPS and 1 support, right? With this guy, you can kind of get away with that a little bit more. It just kind of depends on what you're going for. I still kind of am leaning maybe towards just doing a single DPS. I haven't quite decided yet, or maybe I could drop a tank. I don't know. This is just all me spitballing here, crazy ideas. Like your ponies, you're gonna, people are still gonna want to run your ponies, or you can run Cupid instead, Earth Cupid, because he strips the zombie state off of Wonder Dragons. He strips buffs like crazy off the whole enemy team at once. All 5 dragons, he strips buffs off of them, which is crazy. As well as he's got that double mana regen every time you use a 2 mana cost dragon. So that basically means you will always have double mana regen when using Earth Cupid. So could you use these 2 guys together? That's kind of what I'm thinking, but you don't have to. This guy's already got a double mana or 2 mana every 16 seconds, as well as you can throw meditation on runes on this guy, no problem, and he's still, that's a lot of mana increase. Granted, your whole team has that 25% reduction, so you're going to be using a lot too. I don't have the exact math on it of how much you're using versus how fast you're gaining it back, because double mana, if you had double mana regen, that sort of thing, versus when you didn't. That's a little advanced. I'm not going to cover it here, but it is something to think about. Overall, I think this guy will be a guaranteed support on every single top 10 team, or at least not, 7, 8 out of 10, like the Fire Bagma was. I think everyone's going to replace their Fire Bagma with this guy. If you don't have a Fire Bagma yet, this guy's right up right now. Get this dragon and power it up and throw it on your PvP team. Okay? End of story. And probably should be switching to a 2-mana cost team. You can maybe, if you have 1 DPS and it is a 3-mana cost DPS, you could maybe get away with it not having a 2-mana cost, but everyone else has to be 2-mana cost. All right? Just kind of debate, because you're going to lose that 25% cooldown reduction time because it's a 3-mana cost dragon. So just kind of something to think about moving forward, wanting to get better and better at the game. 2-mana cost is kind of the way to go these days. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, if you made it this far, let me know what you think of the camera. I switched. I was using my phone. I now have a dedicated camera for video, so I don't have to constantly worry about switching back and forth or my battery dying on my phone. It is kind of a little, I don't want to say blurry, but it's very bright compared to my others. It's not as clear. It's kind of blurred together. I don't know. It's just different. Let me know what you think, and always, I'll see you next time.